That's a submarine one, right?
What kind of? Yeah, he's not in a submarine. He's on a
battleship.
Yeah, just started while we're talking about Tom Hanks movies. That'll be interesting for people to come in on.
Coming in.
Yeah, he is a battleship captain.
Battleship captain.
He's a battleship captain, and he's escorting a convoy of merchant and passenger ships. And he's kind of hunting
during World War II, right?
World War II, yeah. Greyhound. Okay. And Greyhound is the name of a ship. It was a good movie.
It's on Apple, right?
It's on Apple Plus, yeah. Turn on your surround sound and just crank that motherfucker because it is fantastic.
Oh,
the sound in it is amazing.
Cool.
So
welcome everybody to another exciting episode. I'm Johnny. That's the Greg. Well, actually, I think it goes that way. That's the Greg. And this is our podcast. Sorry we weren't on last night. For those of you that are just dying to get your Sunday fix on, it's a Monday fix today. So if you can separate yourself from Monday Night Football or whatever else is going on out there, welcome aboard. Sit back, relax. Today, if you guys could do us a favor and hit like, subscribe, and Greg's going to tell you a small little bit about Audible.
Yeah, we are partnered with Audible, and you can get thousands upon thousands of audiobooks streamed right to your phone, in your car, in your earbuds, on your TV, wherever you want to stream things.
What about a smart speaker, Greg?
Sure, yeah, I do a smart speaker quite often.
A lot of people cooking this weekend.
Yep, a lot of people cooking. I do have one of those little under the counter or under the cabinet things in my kitchen, and yeah, I listen to audiobooks on there all the time. Literally thousands of things that you could choose from, every genre you can think of. They also have podcasts. They've got some learning material. They have exclusive Audible content, stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. You can only get it on Audible, and you can get 1 month free on us at audibletrial.com/JATG. And if you just put that into your phone, sign up for a month, you can cancel anytime. If you decide to keep it, that's awesome. And yeah, just listen to your heart's content for 1 month on us at audibletrial.com/JATG.
Think of it as an early Christmas present, guys. So
yeah,
grab it, go. For those of you that are traveling for the holiday, Thanksgiving is coming up. So for those of you who are watching this on YouTube and or listening to this, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I think I can speak for us, Greg, when I say that this is one of the best holidays for us. Like, we love this holiday. You don't like that? Oh, you don't like Thanksgiving?
How so, John? I'm interested to hear your opinion.
Because to me, there's no gift giving. There's no pressure. You just show up and you eat and you spend time with family.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's my big draw. Not only that, there's football on. I bought a Thanksgiving shirt. I think if it says football, food, nap, repeat. So
in that order?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get I'll get that. Are you gonna wear that? I'll probably get that.
That's what you're wearing to Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna do.
And I'll pull out. Greg seems to be pulling this out again. I'm a grown man. I am gonna wear this. We'll see what happens. So for those of you that are still hooked on and listening to us, thank you. Today's topics are going to be the Spider-Man trailer. Everybody went nuts. I think it broke the internet when it came out. Ghostbusters Afterlife review that Greg is going to give us a little review, and then he's going to show us where you can find more reviews moving forward from Johnny and the Greg.
Yes,
then we're going to go back to an oldie but goodie, the good old Topic Thunder. We're going to go over a topic. And that'll be pretty much it for the show. But to start it off, I did want to at least mention the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, as well as the tragedy that happened in Waukesha, right?
Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
correct.
Greg and I talked about this offline, wondering if we should kind of like make this the heart of our podcast today. And both me and him agreed that there's not really much more that Greg and I could add to either of them, except that the Waukesha thing. Look, I don't know enough about the Rittenhouse, so I didn't feel well enough to, or
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was my place, being as little as I know really about it, to really give my opinion on it, because I don't have all the information. And so I just don't want to go one way or the other until I have it all. Anything you want to say about Rittenhouse? Short and sweet, to the point.
There's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, to get into it, I mean, and we don't get all that political on this show, for I think good reason.
Yeah.
I think that this was a precedent-setting case, in terms that he did use the self-defense plea to essentially shoot and kill 2 people and then maim another. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout from this in the future. And my immediate reaction was, there are a lot of women doing jail time for killing their abusers that they would like to have a word. So that's
good point.
That's a lot of, that's something, again, we could go into it, but I don't think we're going to do that today.
Right. As far as the Waukesha thing,
the Waukesha thing is tragedy. It's
my God,
utter tragedy. There are
I don't suggest anybody to. They didn't anything that I checked out. They didn't actually show it. They showed a motion and they stopped it right as it seemed like he was hitting a high school student playing an instrument.
There was one shot that I saw that a lot of the news stations up here were using. Was the van like zipping by?
Yes,
and the van was 3 feet from a toddler.
Yes, that's the one I
barely saw. And it barreled into a high school or a band, couple dance troops. One of literally children, little girls in dance were run over, and then a group of dancing grandmas who a social group, and there were 3 guys in the van. They have one of them, and so I think they're going to get the other 3 in moments. That I saw pictures from news stations on social media that they had pictures of the van. The guy parked. It's not a van; it's an SUV.
Yes.
They parked the SUV, and someone was snapping pictures of it. And then this guy took off running, and there was a cop right after him.
So was it one gentleman? You said there were 3 gentlemen?
There were 3. And the latest that I had read, and this was a couple hours ago, this was before the 5 o'clock news. I was running errands and cooking, so I did not watch the evening news. Was that they were trying to get away from another situation, like another illegal criminal situation.
And they just happened to take the wrong turn.
So they turn, and then boom, they're in the parade. And so what?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know their thought process. If it was pure panic, or if it was, well, let's bowl over some people to cause this ruckus so that we can get away. Right away, the Wisconsin branch of the FBI in the Milwaukee office, they're like, we're on this. So I have no doubt that these people will be found. I wouldn't doubt if they're found already, or if they were found unlived at some point, like someone had gotten to them and, either through self-infliction or whatever. But terrible stuff. I mean,
it's horrendous. It's getting to the point where really if you're gathering and it's a crowd, you kind of have to watch your back now.
There are Christmas parades being canceled all around the area. It sounds like this was an isolated incident, but you can never be too sure. There's a lot of copycats and stuff that do that out there.
Of course.
The one thing, it sucks. I mean, to say that this is a silver lining to an event like this, but the community is really coming together.
Yes.
The state is coming together. While I was waiting for my daughter at an appointment, I went online and tried to find an appointment where I could give blood, because they said hospitals are already in need of blood. If you could do this, that'd be great. So I logged on and I tried to find an appointment to give blood somewhere. They were full up. They couldn't take another person anywhere.
Oh, that's great news.
So that was that was cool. Like every place that I could make it to that would supply this incident, they're like, there's no way you can get in. So I mean, not to compare it to 9/11, but that same kind of feeling where the community's banding together.
Shocked.
Shocked, but also now being human and supporting one another. So so that's terrible. Thoughts and prayers go out to everyone out that was affected by that.
I agree.
was
For
terrible.
sure. Absolutely. Last thing I'm going to say, now that we've kind of taken a left onto Downer Street, we're going to, trust me, guys, we're going to veer back on and we're going to talk about a little bit of Thanksgiving and start talking about Spider-Man. And the guy, the ex-Jet fullback or linebacker that decided to beat the hell out of his girlfriend in front of their 5-year-old son.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, sir. Fuck you. I hope somebody finds you. I hope somebody finds you and just shows you what pain and scared is really all about, because you, sir, deserve it. Period.
That was brutal.
Yes. I don't encourage anybody to watch it. Greg, you sent me that thing. I watched one part of it. I knew automatically what this was because I heard somebody else talk about it, and I didn't watch the rest. I was like, I didn't
even know if it was current. I came across him like, what is this? And I watched him literally chuck her into a TV, and I was like, oh my God.
I mean, this guy looks like he's literally a brick.
He's a beast. Yeah. He is an utter beast.
To do something like that to another human being for any reason other than protecting your family, is there's a special place.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Let's just put it at that.
It's wrong. All right. Let's talk about Thanksgiving. It's here. People that are listening to it, they're listening to it today. Thank you so much for listening to this today. If you're listening to this today, but
hey, we got some viewers. We got some viewers. A couple. Marshall's on. Of course, Marshall's on.
Marshall. Wow.
Marshall is probably
that's rare. It's rare.
He's listening to us. He's probably playing Forza 5.
What? For who?
Forza 5. It's a driving game that's out on Xbox right now.
You shouldn't be driving while you're playing games, Marshall.
Our little group has been
it's very unsafe.
That's true. But our group's been playing it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you remember when you and I in college, after a night at the bars, we used to put in that one video game where you're driving a car and we see if we could drive drunk?
Yeah, we would drunk drive on a video game.
Yeah.
We'd be like, let's see how we do.
Yeah. Well. Remember when you were you playing with a video game, you had the controller, if you thought if you did this, it actually added, you go like,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. You'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still do that, by the way.
Still.
Yeah. All right. So Greg, it sounds like you're just not that. I think we actually talked about this. Thanksgiving's not one of those top ones for you. I thought you'd be into it with your cooking, and I thought you'd be.
I'm okay with it. It's not like I hate it. I mean, let's be clear.
Okay.
It's not my favorite holiday. It's not my favorite holiday. I mean, I put other holidays over Thanksgiving.
Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving.
Christmas would probably be number one. I think Easter is over Thanksgiving for me.
Okay. 4th of July.
And 4th of July I'd put over Thanksgiving. So it's probably ranked in that kind of third.
Okay.
Depending on the year, St. Patty's Day jumps up a couple spots, but that's just for different reasons.
Depending when it's actually, like, if it's on a Friday.
Oh yeah, like if I get to go out on St. Patty's Day, it's usually a pretty good year. Thanksgiving, there's still, I don't know. I mean, I remember growing up for Thanksgiving, and we made a big deal about it. It was, dress up a little. I mean, not like to the nines or anything like that, and go to my mom's family's place, like either my aunt and uncle's place or my grandparents or something like that, and have dinner, which we kind of did anyway. So it wasn't like a big deal. It was just like, we're doing this on a Thursday instead of like some other day. And there had to, we had the traditional foods, the turkey, my grandpa would make the turkey. My grandma would make gravy and, all that stuff. And then
sounds rough so far.
And then like the vast amounts of mashed potatoes. And then my grandma would give us crap because my dad would have like this giant mountain of mashed potatoes. But so it was very repetitive for a long time. That's what I remember about Thanksgiving. It's just
okay. So it just wasn't something that you were like.
It didn't seem special. I mean, and plus a lot of the foods I wasn't a big fan of growing up. I'm like turkey. Yeah,
that's right. You're a big ham guy.
I'm a big ham guy. Well, and that's where now in adulthood, and we get to talk about being a man and make my own decisions. And we can do these things like, we're having I'm making a ham this year. I'm kind of making the turkey too, but I'm going to be smoking the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, there's, just little pieces that are like, yeah, that's cool.
I love everything about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no pressure of gift giving or God, there's always that one relative you have zero idea what to get them, and you feel like an ass when you hand them a gift card. But there's zero pressure. Everybody's getting together, and it's honestly, it's a great time to sit back and reflect and to be thankful, especially with the tragedies we just talked about in the beginning of this podcast. To be thankful for, that you're looking at everybody in the eye for another year. I mean, in situations like my father, where he had some health problems, where I think 3 years ago, there was a chance he wouldn't have been here had people hadn't took care of him right away at the exact moment. It's literally seconds from disaster. Excuse me. So it's a time for me to really reflect on this podcast, reflect on how our relationship has grown, how God, we just have this amazing number one fan in Marshall.
We do.
And who constantly likes, shares, pushes our stuff out there all the time. Yeah. If we could have 1 million more Marshalls out there, it still wouldn't be you, Marshall. But I mean, all seriousness,
when we get big enough to have a fan club, we should just call them the Marshalls.
That's right. We should actually.
I think I've made the statement. Yes. It's going to happen. That's what we're going to do.
What is it? What is that one guy saying the Mandalorian? I have spoken.
Yeah, I have spoken.
I have spoken. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So all you Marshalls out there, thanks for listening. You're officially a Marshall now.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we might get you a t-shirt that says you're a Marshall. Or if you like Johnny the Greg, you're a Marshall. Yeah. Anyway, to get seriousness for 2 seconds here, I really appreciate how much our relationship has grown through this. We talk to each other every week, where before we would catch up every 4 months.
Yeah, once a quarter. It would be about the.
And then it got to a sickening point where it was only once a year, and it was, are you going to the Comic-Con? Yeah. And that was it. And then we started with Topic Thunder, and we just kind of took off from there. And here we are, I think 3 years later.
Well, and I mean, it was getting better even prior to that.
Yeah.
Like it was growing and growing. And then when I switched jobs and started using your place as a launching pad for work travel, that helped.
Yes.
And then, we just kind of started doing this.
Yeah. So my friend, I am thankful for this podcast, if and only because we have at least one number one fan, and we have, and I've grown my relationship with you. And for every viewer out there, we have about a good solid group. I like to say, thank you guys for stopping whatever you're doing in your busy days and your busy lives and listening to us forever, how long you listen to us. And for those people that are on here for 3 seconds, and we have the data. So you guys just hang in there for another 5.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit more.
Anyway, just kidding. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I will leave it on to you now, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, when you say all that, it makes me feel guilty for not really thinking of that and enjoying Thanksgiving as much as I should. Because I do need to focus a bit more on that piece of it.
It's really hard when you become an adult.
Well, yes, it is. And if my mother is listening, she's going to hate this part. But I would be super pumped over Friendsgivings. Like if
I get that, actually, that's a very popular thing now.
Yes. Like if our friends were to get together.
Right.
So like if your family and my family were to gather somewhere, your place, my place, whatever. And I would be super excited to do that.
Right.
Or I even have friends that I see, couple in Wisconsin, we would say 2 or 3 times a month. If we were to do a Friendsgiving with them, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah.
I
get that. The family politics that nobody likes.
We don't even have a lot of politics.
No, I think every family does have politics. I'm not talking about.
Sure. We don't have, you're right. We do. Yes. But we don't have like no relationship ending politics or anything.
Right.
Like
yes.
It would just be, it's just always like what are you doing this year? Well, we're going to go either to one side or we're going to go to the other side, and it's going to be that on repeat.
Yeah.
Every
Are
year.
you gonna stop by?
Yeah.
You get the guilt trip a little bit.
So, I mean, I tried to do a Friendsgiving last year with some people from church, and then we still ended up getting pulled into like a family thing.
Yeah.
And it was the total guilt trip. It was.
Yeah.
And so this year we're doing we are doing Thanksgiving with my family, but I'm putting my foot down in terms of Christmas time this year, and saying we will be there at this place at this time. That's it. Like that's what they're getting, because my kids want to do some other things, and they're asking us.
Well, they're actually getting at that age, right? Where they're getting at that age where they're kind of like, I want to go do my own thing.
Kind of, not really their own thing, but they want us to do our thing.
Oh, they want to create new traditions.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. You know, I have my oldest is almost 17.
Yeah.
She'll be 17 in January. She has known 3 Christmases in her own house.
Okay.
Like waking up Christmas morning, opening gifts with just her family.
Oh, damn. Really?
3.
Oh, so she's lost all that excitement of like getting up in the morning going, it's Christmas Day.
We've never had that excitement of being it's Christmas Day. Okay. Or Christmas morning, let's go downstairs. I mean, if it, like I said, 3 times in almost 17 years.
Yeah.
So and that's, you know, if someone were to ask my kids, what are your holiday traditions? And they're going to say, if they were to say travel, they'd be like, oh, good. Like your family go somewhere. They're like, no, we drive an hour and go to somewhere else. Or we have to get up and go over to another family's place. Like there's never, there was just never a Struley family Christmas that it was my clan where we wake up. Like, well, it's happened 3 times.
You're really starting to bum me out, brother.
I'm sorry. Anyway, what I do love, and I don't know why this does speak to the child in me.
Okay.
Is the Thanksgiving Day parade. Like,
oh, okay.
Like getting up, because Thanksgiving is a day where as an adult, you either get to sleep in or you got to get up and cook. That's usually, or if you're in Wisconsin and you're a guy my age, it's like, are we going to go hunting? That's the
Packers
kind of
on. Are the Packers playing Detroit?
Well, but even still, that's like not until later. I mean, you still got but I will get up and flip on the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Okay.
Because I think it's fun. I mean, I think it's less fun now that everybody's lip syncing and everything like that. But the giant balloons, and I remember being a kid and seeing the Marvel
Spider-Man.
comics. Yeah, the Spider-Man balloon. And
I think they still have him. I think he still shows
it's
up every year.
Stuff like that. I was like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that. You know what? I think I just remember my mom would always make a pistachio pudding, and she'd make pistachio pudding fluff? Just for me. No, just the pudding, like the Jello, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing fancy, but she made it just for me. So I always woke up in the morning and instead of having cereal, I had pistachio pudding on Thanksgiving.
My mom, it's a pistachio fluff. So it's like it's super easy to make. It's like a thing of Cool Whip. I almost said Miracle Whip. That is different stuff.
Yeah, that's different stuff.
So it's Cool Whip.
Don't mix that.
It's Cool Whip boxes, like I think 1 or 2, but depending on the size you're gonna make, of pistachio pudding, crushed pineapple, a can of crushed pineapple, like the bigger can, and a bag of mini marshmallows.
And they're delicious.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh,
I mean,
awesome.
it's one of those, this is a salad that's not really a salad kind of things.
Your type of salad.
No, not my type of salad.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd be into that.
No, what I like it, but it's not it's a dessert that they put as a side. And like it's called pistachio salad. I'm like, that's not it. That for me, that doesn't qualify as a salad. But
you know what, one of the traditions that Ursula and I do? We do the Friends Thanksgivings. We watch at least one of those episodes.
Sure.
Those are great.
Sure.
Yeah. Those are great.
Remember the movie Dutch? That was a great Thanksgiving film.
I've never seen Dutch. You've
never seen Dutch?
No, and I've always wanted to. I've never seen it. I've also never seen Midnight Run.
Okay.
I gotta see those two. My movie's always Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah.
Dutch, I think, is on Hulu. And
okay, cool.
Ed O'Neill.
I will definitely watch it.
Oh, and what I cannot remember the kid's name right now. He went on Empire Records. He was on Sopranos for a long time. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But he just plays this dick of a kid.
Okay.
And his mom's boyfriend, future husband,
which is Dutch.
Who was Dutch, Ed O'Neill, like in his prime, married with children days.
Yes.
He's like, well, I'll go get the kid, and then maybe we'll drive back and we'll talk and we'll get to know each other. Yeah, stuff like that. And this kid is such an asshole.
Yeah.
And so they have their misadventures on the way back. But yeah, it was a good movie.
Cool. Anybody out there listening, what are your favorite Thanksgiving traditions? Please let us know in the comments below. And or I don't know, if you catch this on the podcast day, audio wise, let us know through our many avenues.
If you catch it on Facebook, something like that, drop a selfie of you and your plate or something on Thanksgiving. What are you doing? Let us know.
Yeah, good. All right, Greg. The world stood still. I think it was around 7:30 last Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because they just did what they didn't, with what you and I didn't want them to do.
Yep.
They did another Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
They did.
You and I actually text each other and said, we're not going to watch it.
Oh, I so tried not to.
I tried not to for literally 3 seconds. And then
oh, really? I made it till the next day.
Oh, no. I grabbed, when it came up on my phone, I forgot to get rid of the notification. Came up on my phone. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I have the power in my hand right now. I have the power in my hand right now. And my wife's talking to me about something. And I'm just sitting there debating. And she's like, what's going on? What are you looking at your phone? And I said, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer's on. And she goes, oh, Jesus Christ. I said, I got to go to the bathroom. And so I ran to the bathroom and I went to the bathroom.
Watch the trailer.
No, it wasn't for any bowel movements. It was so I would be completely alone and I could immerse myself into this trailer because I wanted to pick up all these little things. And I picked up the one thing I picked up before it went like wildfire was the ending shot where it's showing Spider-Man against 3 of his arch villains.
Right.
It's not just him.
So the reason I watched it, and I'm usually pretty good. Like if I say I'm not going to watch, like I can tell you right now, I'm not going to watch another Matrix trailer. Like I'll pass it up. But I know people that. Yeah, I know people that are like, did you see the Brazilian trailer? No, I'm not searching out
I know
other countries' trailers or anything. Yes. But I said, and even I texted you, I said, the hard part is going to be staying away from it on social media because we follow too many other reviewers, too many other social media guys that they literally pick these things apart.
Yes.
And that's what it was. I started scrolling through our Instagram account and it was like close-ups of this into that. I'm like, well, shit, I might as well just watch it.
Yeah.
And I think I've watched it twice.
Okay. I think I'm on 72.
Yeah, no, I watched it a couple times because the thing is, it's not like you're not going to go see it. Like that's why we said we don't need to watch the trailer. We're going to go see it.
Yes.
Like they have our money. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've turned into one of those people that want to find out what's happening before the movie. And I don't know why. I think it's become a habit that I need to get rid of it. And it honestly, it doesn't ruin the movie for me. I never go into a movie walking out going, damn, I should have seen the trailer. Like I've never been that way. So it never seems to bother me. I know it bothers other people and I understand why it bothers other people. I understand when you give too much to a trailer. Sometimes the trailer is the best part of the movie. Like I remember watching the Batman versus Superman. I think it was the second trailer when you show Batman take out all the thugs in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then they had that rock music throughout the rest of it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm ready for the best movie of all time. And I walked in there and going, so that wasn't the best movie of all time.
That was the greatest trailer of all time.
Yeah, but Marvel's never really let me down so far.
Okay.
So
is there anything in the trailer that you've seen now that you wish you didn't know?
No. I'm wondering, did Sony release that trailer? Actually, you know what, Greg? I think you're right. I think there is a part I watched that I went, oh shit, I know how that's gonna end. And that's when MJ's falling. Like, I think I have a pretty good idea how that's gonna end.
Maybe they're gonna do that.
Maybe she doesn't fall. What Disney is great at is they give you a bunch of stuff that never happens.
Correct. Yeah.
So they're good at that.
Could be a dream sequence. Could be.
The problem is you're sharing this with Sony, and there's a lot of times their main people are talking to the other main people, and they're like, "Let's show this," and they're like, "No, we're not showing that." You know, there's a formula we follow.
I mean, the teaser there is for comic fans, and then if you watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 is, you know, any really with any female, with any time Peter Parker's girlfriend is falling from any height, we're gonna go, because that's part of his character. Is Gwen Stacy died when he got her. You know, it's the one time in comics that physics actually works. And
it's I remember watching that Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Ursula, and I knew the minute she was in the clock tower, I went, oh shit, she's gonna die in this one. I didn't tell her that, but Ursula was crushed because I thought those two had the best chemistry of all the.
They were good. Yep.
And I was like, I really like her. They could have stretched this out and made this a trilogy if they would have just been patient and had him just beat Electro and moved on. But when that happened, Ursula was crushed, and she's like, "You're not affected." I go, "I actually knew this in the comics. I knew the minute her name was Gwen, she was dead." Yep. And so, but what we're talking about, guys, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to break down a little bit of this, and Greg hates playing this game, but this is a podcast, so we're going to play this game. And the one thing Greg can't do, or to your audience, I want you guys to write this down right now. Oh no, because that's Greg's favorite go-to line. I hate that line because it makes me, it's an automatic, hey, fuck you, Johnny. I don't want to think. So
we're not going to talk about this. Is what it is.
Right. So we're going to play this
on a talk show. We're not going to talk about it.
And you got to get past the first comedic, I don't know, because he's going to drop one of those. But I want you to keep a tally of how many times he says, I don't know. Now that I've actually put it out there, he'll probably never do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Piss you off.
All right.
Because I will say,
yes,
I have thoughts on this.
Okay.
I do have thoughts.
Awesome. I'm going to start one with the Statue of Liberty. And the reason I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty is because it seems at the end of this, there's a battle at the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if it's the end. It seems like that's the end.
At some point there's going to be. Yeah.
Yes. Now on the Statue of Liberty, I think it's very interesting. And somebody brought this up. I'm going to give the thought out to New Rock Stars. It's a YouTube channel where they extensively break down a trailer. So if you guys are really into breaking down trailers, go watch them out. They actually put out some really good stuff. It's not just trailers. They have theories and all this stuff. Moving on. The first ever comic book movie that was considered a success, but not a horror movie. So not Blade.
Superhero movie.
Yes, like the X-Men. The first one with Brian
out of like the modern era. So we're not talking about Superman 1978.
Correct. Yes,
we're talking about from the modern Marvel era, the Fox film.
Yes. Where it actually laid down the gauntlet that, holy shit, you can pull this off.
Yep. You know, we can do Wolverine successfully.
Yes. Yep. They had a final battle on the Statue of Liberty.
Indeed, they did.
I believe a guy first started on that shoot. His name was Kevin Feige. Okay. Kevin Feige now is the head honcho. He is the Uatu of the Marvel universe. Did I say that wrong?
No, you're right. It is Uatu.
Okay. Yep. And there is some interesting theories that there's this moment where Doctor Strange at the end of this trailer is going, they're all coming.
They're all coming through.
Yeah. And they're all coming through and I can't stop them. Could it be the X-Men? Could that be a full circle back? And all of a sudden this is how the X-Men come into this universe, is they just appear at the bottom of this, or at the Statue of Liberty, or it was an interesting dot that they connected. I wanted to see what you thought. And everybody else out there, let us know in the comments below. Greg will be monitoring that. Go.
If it is the X-Men,
Yes.
and I heard the same theory. I heard it from Jay Stoops. Um, if it is the X-Men coming through at the Statue of Liberty, I'm gonna be a little like, that's lazy.
Me too.
Because
Yes.
the X-Men, for all that it did for comic book films, is not a good movie. Like, you go back and watch the X-Men, and maybe we should do this.
Maybe we should
Go back, watch the first X-Men film, and you're gonna go. You're gonna. I mean, it's not a fun.
Have
film.
you watched it lately?
I tried.
Oh, really? Okay.
I tried about a year ago. I think it was at one of those points where I'm like, I watched Old Man Logan or Logan. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty good film. I had
Days of
watched
Future Past is good.
Yeah, I like Days of Future Past was better than I expected.
Yes.
Not a great film, but better than I expected. And then I started to think, like, the X-Men films.
Yeah.
How many of them are actually good movies?
Oh, that's an interesting.
So then I started to think. I really liked X-Men 2.
Yes.
At the time, I was like, X-Men 2 is a pretty good film. You know, Hugh Jackman had really found Wolverine, I think.
Right.
In the
or they really let him.
Yeah, they let Wolverine kill people.
Yes.
Absolutely. They let him, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
go to town.
The rage fight in the mansion as he's defending the kids. I was like, holy fuck, they're really doing this.
Yeah.
Still no blood or anything like that, but like when he pins the guy to the wall, like
screaming at him.
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I still remember that he pulls out, he's going,
yeah. And
I was like, oh, he's coming. Wolverine's
fantastic. I mean, so everything about X-Men 2 I really liked. I mean, certainly there were parts, and that was the first time we saw, like, you know, a little bit of the Phoenix in the water at the end. You're like, how are they going to do that?
Right.
Because the Phoenix is a cosmic entity. Does she get possessed by a cosmic entity?
Yeah, they can't figure that out.
No, they can't. because it was Fox and they weren't doing full Marvel universe. They were doing this little X-Men universe.
Little pocket.
So they were really kind of blocked from doing a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And there's still a lot of things about the rights. So if it is a recreation of the Statue of Liberty and we see Magneto and his little cyclotron thing with
making
Rogan,
mutants.
Yeah, wanting to make everybody in the world a mutant. I'm going to go, okay, are they going to say, like, he can't make everybody a mutant, but maybe it breaks in this reality, and then we still end up with like a 500,000 mutants, or like there's a population of mutants now.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, we've got, like, there are, you know, technically in canon, which they can just choose to ignore, but like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when that show was on, they had the Inhumans, and it looked like those were going to be the mutants because they couldn't use mutants because
correct.
By Sony. So, you know, it's like, well, what are they going to do? And that never really took off. So I think it could they do it? Yes, they could. If they do, I'm going to say that's lazy writing. But at the same time, you've got a multiverse. So it's just like, oh, and now they're in the universe, and now they're in the universe, and now we can bring it. So
I do think I agree with you with all that. I think the best way you can introduce maybe one mutant would be an end credit, where all of a sudden Logan wakes up at the Statue of Liberty Island looking around like, what the hell's going on? That's maybe that. Maybe.
I did read an article that I can't remember who put it out, but they were arguing that, like, the World War II origin story of Magneto isn't viable anymore.
Oh yeah. Makes sense.
Because we're so far past that. I mean, most of our World War II generation are so old.
Unless you give him some sort of his mutant D8 or
kept him young,
keeps him younger.
Like that. You know, his control of magnetic properties, it was like an anti-aging thing.
Right.
Something like that. You could do that. Like, that's
you can mix with that. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But that is, I mean, there was that piece of the article. So I'm like, well, yeah, maybe they could do that. The multiverse thing is, you know, it's a great way to do some really creative things,
Mhm.
and it's a really easy way to just get away with a lot of things.
Correct. Yes. It
So
almost turns into, oh, it was a dream. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. You're right.
it could be. It could be. I would
Yes.
much rather see them bring over, like get the Fantastic Four, like figure out where they're coming in.
Yeah.
And then I think you just start to introduce mutants. Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind of like with the Eternals. I mean,
They were kind of always there.
well, they talked about the energy created by the snap that brought life back.
Yes.
There was a massive amount of energy that was released
Right.
with that. And now we know that there's an Eternal that's been living in the earth and was trying to surface.
Yes.
You could do some really creative writing through there to say, and now we've got people that are just developing powers.
Yeah.
And say that they always had a little piece of the Eternal in their DNA. But
because the planet's been kind of, or haven't the humans been feeding this thing and now reverse engineered almost?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of creative ways. There's a lot of ways you could really introduce mutants and now people are just developing powers.
Right.
Like, and we're not sure, like, is it in the, with Miss Marvel or some of the other characters that they're starting to introduce, they could have powers. And they're not explaining
activated.
They're not activated, or they're not.
Well, I mean, you could do that for the majority, but there are some like, like Wolverine. He's one of the coolest things about Wolverine is that he's been here since like World War I.
Yeah. Yep.
And
maybe with the snaps, something happened and he's like awakened or whatever.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of ways you can go with it, but there's also a way that you get real lazy about it and just go, oh, now they're here. Yeah. Toby and Andrew, they coming?
I want to say yes.
I do too. I mean, to what extent? I don't know. But
as much as they're bringing over the other villains from the other Spider-Man films,
yeah.
I think the surprise, not surprise piece is going to be when the other Spider-Men show up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that whole end of the Statue of Liberty fight, that's all the Spider-Man.
Yeah. What actually got me a little bit more into that camp, excuse me, was when they did show another Spider-Man in, I don't know if he's got like a mystical armor. When I first watched it, I thought it was like that armored Spider-Man, like the silvery armor.
Yes,
do you remember that one?
About. Yes.
I thought it was that Spider-Man, but then after some still shots that I ran across, I saw it wasn't. So they are bringing over other Spider-Man, other Peter Parkers, other whatever.
Where are you getting that? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, are you saying when he sits there and he has that magic thing?
Yeah, I think that's another Spider-Man.
No, that's not.
How do you know?
Because if you look at the first trailer, he's actually wearing that. He's in like that. Remember Feast? Feast is like some sort of homeless shelter that Aunt May helps with.
Right, sure. That's from the video game. Yeah.
Okay. In that, he takes off his mask and you can tell he's like asking people, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And they all point that way and he runs and he's wearing that costume. So it's Peter.
Really?
Yeah, it's Peter. Now I've heard that costume's his actual costume is just reversed. Like it's inside out because I think somebody throws paint on it because they're a Mysterio guy or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
I thought that's not our Peter.
Okay.
You got me wanting to look that up right now, and I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, if they're bringing over another Spider-Man, because even the dialogue, I think in the trailer
was
something about what was like people are coming over or they're here or whatever it is.
Yes.
And then you see that other Spider-Man. I'm like,
actually, what he said was, they're coming and I can't stop them. So everybody's kind of excited for who's they.
Yeah.
Is it thousands of Green Goblins? Is it, how like
could be. We do see another person on a glider.
Yeah. Well, we do or we don't. We don't know if it's the same guy.
We don't.
Yeah.
But we know that there were 2 Green Goblins.
Right. Now I have a theory that
there were 3 Green Goblins in those other movies. because you had
you had
Osborn, and then you had uh,
both sons.
Franco. Yeah, Franco.
Both sons, different universes. Yeah.
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 Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. Yeah. I guess we're gonna get
Norman
to
is two Harrys.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the jokes are all his, folks. Right, Steve? We're gonna get to the real big thing here, though. Who dies, Greg? MJ, Ant, or Happy? Now, hey guys, everybody listening, can we set up a survey real quick or no? Can we do that or no?
You got to warn me of that, John.
Okay, then never mind. Don't worry about it. But just curious, who do you guys think is gonna bite it in Spider-Man No Way Home? Is it going to be MJ, Ant, Happy, maybe Peter?
Well,
yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments below. Yeah, just let us know in the comments below. Wait. Because can't you hit like or love or something else for certain people? So if you think it's going to be Peter, give us a thumbs up. I'm sorry. If you think it's going to be MJ, give us a thumbs up. If you think it's going to be Aunt May, give us a heart. If you think it's going to be Happy, give us a caring.
Sure.
Yeah, and we'll see what comes up. I think
they want to participate.
Nobody wants to participate. That's fine.
That was bad.
I think Happy's going to die.
You think Happy's going to die?
I think it's Happy that bites it.
I think so too. Because he's been around in Marvel films for a long time, and he's got a Star Wars universe to run. So
yeah, he's a little busy.
I could see Happy bowing out.
Yeah,
in a most heroic way.
Absolutely.
Probably saving May or something like that.
Yes. Because that look in the trailer he gives, that's like a goodbye trailer. That's like a goodbye look. Yeah.
It could be.
Look. Yeah.
That would be reasonable.
Yeah.
With May, I don't know that she could. I mean, she's died in the comics.
Could be both.
Yeah, could be they both bite it. That would be more tragedy for Peter.
Yes.
Well, yeah. At the same time, they're beloved characters.
Yes.
And so I don't.
Yeah, we don't know. I think that's the interesting.
I don't know if Sony's got the cojones to kill off MCU.
Well, you got a multiverse now, so she might.
They do. They do. Oh, that'd be weird if they brought back another May, like
Sally Field,
like the old wizened May. Yeah.
Peter, you're so fragile.
Yeah. Again, I don't think Sony. Well, because I'm thinking, can Sony do that? Can Sony kill off Happy Hogan in a Spider-Man film?
I think if Kevin Feige's cool with it.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. We'll see. That's the fun part of this is we're going to see.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say is I've only counted so far 6. I'm sorry. I've counted only 5 Sinister Six, not 6. And one clue that nobody's really talking about is that Doctor Strange says in the trailer, I'm talking about the second trailer. We had a few people that have been showing up, or we have visitors now, and he says from every universe. So is that Venom?
Did you see Venom? The second Venom film with their big Carnage?
Yeah. Didn't he in that
he's like, he crosses in there over.
Now. Yeah,
the post credit scene of that film, and spoiler alert, but it's been out for long enough.
Yeah.
Is he crosses over like the symbiote's talking to Eddie. And he's like, we've seen things. He's like, well, what kind of things? He's like, many possibilities and universes, Eddie. It's all open. And then he's like, well, show me. And there's like a flash of light. And Venom's like, what was that? And he's like, I don't know. And then they see on the TV that J. Jonah Jameson, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Venom's like, ooh, I like him, and licks the screen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if they're going to make Venom a villain, totally goes against the other movies that they've got.
That's true.
Going on.
Yeah, so it probably won't be maybe it's Vulture.
Well, and that's the other thing is Vulture. I mean, they've established Michael Keaton for sure is still alive and around.
Yeah.
They've
also established the Scorpion.
Yeah. I mean, so they do have other villains that they can start to pull in.
Yeah.
Electro didn't die.
No,
you know,
he didn't.
in the first film.
Yeah.
He's still around. So they have other people to pull in. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Greg, you saw a movie that
the Shocker is what I meant to say. The Shocker.
Okay, the Shocker. Yeah, that's true. Also the Rhino. Get Paul Giovanni back.
Oh God, that was so terrible.
That was really bad. Greg saw the Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it's something I'm very excited to see, and I can't get Ursula to go with me. She'd rather see James Bond.
Shut up.
Yeah, we have
a
Wednesday date day. I got off Wednesday. Thank you, company. And
bro, do both.
And I said, you want to see a movie? She's like, I totally want to see a movie. I was like, well, let's go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. I heard it's great. And she goes, I'm not really a Ghostbusters guy. I would like to go see James Bond. I'm like,
Ghostbusters will have her crying at the end.
Oh,
Guaranteed. Yeah? Guaranteed.
Okay. Okay, so go, Greg, go.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Why did you love it?
I did some screenings with the friends, and here I'm going to read you my review. And I just posted that on our chat window for this. If you're watching on Facebook, I will include it in the links in the description as well.
You actually share it on screen right now. That's not light, right? Share it on screen so people can see it.
I could, sure. But there's a movie fan social media page called Letterboxd, and I'd seen it before, didn't really get into it. On a whim, I was like, damn, I could do movie reviews with Johnny and the Greg, post them on Letterboxd, and then post them on our Instagram account. So that's what I did. As I was waiting for people to get back to me from work stuff. Let's see, where's my share screen? There it is.
Multitasking, folks. That's why he's the guy in the chair.
Totally multitasking right now. So here's my Letterboxd review. You can go to letterboxd.com/JATG_podcast, and you can find our stuff. So I took a look at a couple other reviews up there of stuff that I've seen recently, and Afterlife, and I'm trying to do spoiler-free reviews.
Okay.
So I said, I know we've all tried, or we're all tired of I didn't even spell tired right. I gotta fix that. Of Hollywood reboots and remakes, and we think Hollywood's just out of ideas.
Yes.
And I think that's very true. But this is really the exception to that rule. Jason Reitman, who is the son of Ivan Reitman, who was one of the first script writers and creators of the Ghostbusters, along with Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. His son wrote a script and kind of harkened back to the original two Ghostbusters films. And it really brings back a lot of that magic that the first two had. And it is a great, it's a sequel. It's not a reboot. It is a true sequel set, 30 some years past the first movie. And it's great. It is absolutely great. There were tears were coming at the end of the film.
Yeah.
I could see, I've read some reviews where people are like, this is just a copy of the first film. It's really not, though. Like, when you sit down and watch it objectively, you're like, this isn't a copy. It is a sequel.
Right. So we're going back to, I think you and I have talked about this on the podcast before, that the female Ghostbuster movie got a lot of back, and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
No, it wasn't bad. They weren't even trying to
People thought they were trying to reboot Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and it wasn't that.
With this all-female cast. It wasn't. I mean, even this film opens, I think it's the name of the production company is Ghost Corps. And when I say Corps, it's CORPS. So like the Marine Corps.
Okay.
Group of people. This is Ghost Corps.
Okay.
And in the Melissa McCarthy film, they fully acknowledge that they are in a multiverse. They identify, I think it's Gozer and Zool, and in that film, in one of the post-credit scenes, and they're like, what is that? And then they come up with another thing. They're like, there's a multiverse, which is why you saw other versions of the Ghostbusters in that film, not just because the actors are contracted to make a cameo, but because it's a multiverse. And so it's very possible, I think highly improbable, but possible that those two Ghostbusters films could do a crossover.
So, but this one's definitely,
it's fantastic. I mean, the whole concept, and this is in the trailer, I'm not giving it away, is that it's Egon's kids. Okay. And his daughter it's his daughter and her two kids, so his grandkids. And Egon is gone, and she's inherited his house out in the middle of nowhere. What was Egon doing in the middle of nowhere? Why did he keep all the Ghostbusters stuff? And, what's going on? And in one of the trailers, Dan Aykroyd's in there, and he picks it up, and he's still got his bookstore from the second film. And, so they come into play. The original Ghostbusters are in the film.
Oh, I think you just spoiled that.
No, I didn't. I didn't spoil it. How
did you not?
One, they're doing talk show appearances saying this is a great film. It was fun, a lot of fun to make it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, all right. Yeah, the last
I knew they were coming because I showed you the toys and you got mad at me.
Right. Well, we didn't know at that point.
Yeah,
that was like a year ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this movie was supposed to be out over a year ago.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
It was supposed to be out a year ago last summer. This is going to be a summer film. But Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and
Ernie
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, yes.
They were on the talk shows, making the talk show circuit last week.
Oh, great. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Saying like, yeah, it was great to get together. It was great to do this continuation. And they're like, why? Like, why did you do this? Like what? And they even said, Jason Reitman, who is the son of Ivan.
It was a respect thing.
Yeah. They're like, he wrote a script, and Bill Murray, being Bill Murray,
yes,
was like, look, if it wasn't good, we weren't going to do it.
Right.
Like, and Bill has always been like this.
Yes, he has.
He'll do the stories of him giving the big FU to like writers, directors, anything. If he didn't like the project, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, he's like, and he's so laid back. He's like, no, I read the script and I thought it was really something. And then it had me laughing, and it had me excited, and it had me crying. And I just really wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's his talk show appearance. And you're like, that's as excited as Bill Murray's going to get. But,
yeah.
So that alone, if you even a sliver enjoyed the first Ghostbusters, it's totally worth it.
Fantastic. I'm one of the very few that actually enjoyed both the first one.
I loved them. Yep. Loved them both.
I'm a Ghostbusters guy. I'm a fan. I remember wanting to have the ghost catcher and the proton packs when I was a kid. And Greg sent me a picture of, I think you can buy one now for
Hasbro's made one. Yeah.
Yeah. Hasbro made it for like what, 500 or something like that?
Something
ridiculous.
I think it was like $499.
$499.
Or $499.95.
Any of you out there that are still dying to have that proton pack, which I'm sure it has cool lights and it makes cool sounds, and it's there. It's available. Hasbro.com. If Hasbro wants to send us some so we can review it,
oh gosh, please do.
We would.
I would wear it the entire show. I would wear it for many shows.
Yeah, we create a segment for sure for it.
Yep.
Yeah. So guys, it's a great time.
On this week's Look at Greg's Proton Pack.
This is a great weekend to go out and see that. For those of you that don't like to do any of Black Friday shopping, go see a movie. Help that industry out. And they're starting to come out with some good stuff we've been waiting for, and it's coming. And I'm excited about this holiday season in terms of that. And other stuff.
Yeah. And other things, but it was cool.
Yeah.
You should, if Ursula's going to be a stick in the mud and not go see it, then you should go see it.
Okay.
You should get home one night and say, baby, I'm going to a movie by myself, and then just take off and go to a movie.
All right. Will do. I will probably also pack in case I have to drive up and sleep on your couch that day.
Okay.
All right.
If she gives you grief, you say, Greg,
go see it again. We go see it again.
She can call me.
All right. And to top it off today, guys, we're going to do a oldie but goodie. We used to do something called Topic Thunder, where we actually originally started doing these little things where for 15 minutes we'd throw out a
topic, talk about it,
then
and
we
then
talk
close.
about it. Yeah, and so since we're talking about movies today, the topic I went in the Wayback Machine and pulled back was who is the biggest movie villain of all time? We talked about this once.
Is this like in my opinion, or in
your opinion? In your opinion, you don't. I mean, come on. I think I know where you're going. I don't think you should go.
I think I know what I said last time.
Okay.
And I think I said Darth Vader.
Yeah, and I don't think you should.
But he's so much of an anti-hero now.
Yes.
Like people love him.
Yes.
I love him.
Yes.
He's right there.
Yes. Was that a new one?
Well, he's been there for a while. I think sometimes.
Is that like a Lego thing?
It's like one of the Lego heads.
Yeah. Okay.
He was fun to build.
I'm looking at a Venom today, and I don't even like Venom, but I was looking at one.
No, I didn't like the Venom. His teeth are jacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vader's become so much more than because I've read the comics and I've read the books and I he's got that tortured soulness to him.
He's the coolest villain ever, probably.
I think so. Yeah, I would say that.
But not the biggest.
The biggest villain,
and I'm not talking about size. So no King Kong or shit like that.
No, because he's cool too.
Yeah.
Somebody that you loathe, that you just hate.
Yeah.
That is just
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
Yeah.
God, who do you have? Like who?
You know, it's funny. I actually don't have it. I pulled it from it, and because I thought this was hilarious. And when you look at it, you're like, you damn right. And you and I were on this train, but we didn't go as in depth into it, looking at it the way this guy did. Okay.
So you looked at an article.
I'm going to read this. This is from he says, for more stupid shit from me, follow the Natty King. So I got to give credit where credit is due. All right. This is what he writes. Just watched Titanic for the first time as an adult, and man, do I have some new takeaways from all that. First off, great movie. Fantastic, actually. But then there's this Rose lady. Just awful. First off, Bill Paxton has been spending years of his life trying to find this diamond. Dude's got an entire operation and business dedicated to it. He invites Rose to stay on his ship, puts her and her daughter up, and thoroughly explains what he has been doing and how important finding the diamond is to him. Not only does Rose have the diamond in her possession and not say shit, she also decides to bore the entire crew with this long ass 2-day story about how she scored with a random dude one weekend 80 years ago behind her fiance's back.
Okay.
Oh, then after they listen to the whole fucking story, she throws the diamond in the water, then goes ahead and dies on this poor fuck's boat. Nice gal. Oh, then when she goes to heaven, she is reunited with that random dude she shacked up with on a Model T one weekend 80 years ago.
Yep.
Not her actual husband. You know, the guy that was there for her entire adult life, raised children with her, and had grandkids with all while she hit this wild and freaky time she hooked up with this guy on a highly publicized cruise ship that killed 1,500 people, then left the same guy she cheated on her fiance with to freeze to death while she sang a stupid song on a fucking floating door big enough for two. Yeah, that girl, Rose DeWitt Bukater. Biggest villain in any movie of all time.
I really agree with him. Because
Big Natty.
Big Natty, is that his name?
I think that's his name. Big Natty.
You need to give me that link because
I'm sorry, the Natty King. The Natty King. I salute you, sir. That was fantastic.
The reason I totally agree with that guy is I remember being in high school. Gosh, yes, I was in high school. I took a date to go see Titanic.
Okay.
I laughed my ass off when the guy hit the propeller and just went down. Not the time to laugh in a movie theater, but I was a teenager and I was like, that was wrong. but yeah, like when she died and like she had it on her, I'm like, she had that on her the whole time. And then you see it floating down, and and then she sees Leo, and like, the credits are rolling. Celine Dion is belting, and I'm like, wait a minute. And she's, my girlfriend's crying. She's like, it was so beautiful. I'm
Best
like,
love story ever.
and I'm like, no, wait. So they were like 17, like when this happened, or like early 20s or whatever.
Yep.
I said, random street artist that she just bangs in a Buick or whatever it was.
Yep.
But then she moves on and she has children. I mean, she obviously met another man at some point.
Fell in love enough.
Fell in love
married,
and had a lifetime to live to the ripe old ancient age of almost 100.
Yes.
Where her daughter, like, she could have had great grandkids at this point.
Yes.
But that's what she meets in heaven. Right. Was that 2-day hookup?
Yeah. So not only that, let's think about the daughter that was hearing this story for the first time.
Going.
So next time you look at that daughter doing that, what Greg's doing right there, doing that motion.
Going,
maybe she's not going, oh my God, Mom, what a story. She's probably thinking, you fucking bitch.
What about my dad? I mean, that's what she's thinking.
Yes. How about those times, Mom, where we were struggling and you had that Hope of Diamond freaking thing in your pocket and you never decided to
living in this modded house in the Midwest or wherever it was. I'm like, you had $1 billion diamond hidden away in your hope chest this whole time.
Yes.
Do you remember when I heard my own father crying because we couldn't pay the taxes that year?
Exactly.
You had to hold it.
Remember when we had to move, Mom? You remember that? Yeah. Remember we had to move? Hey, was the Great Depression before or after the Titanic?
After.
Okay, so she lived through it.
You had to hold this, and you're like, no. See, and that literally, like, I walk out, I'm like, okay, the special effects were great.
Yeah. But I'll always have that guy falling.
Yeah, and I'm like, it was totally unbelievable. Like, it can't.
So, guys, interesting way to end this. I want you guys to tell us or beat us. Beat what is his name? The Natty King. The Natty King's best movie villain of all time, because I think he nailed it. I agree with him.
But how that movie should have ended is like Leo is up the stairs. She should have like blew right past him, went up the other flight where her real husband was, just like taking his face and being like, because that's what would have made sense. Like, us seeing it'd be like Anakin's dad, who, like, you never saw that actor at all except for the last minute of the film, is like standing at the top of the stairs and talks, and you're like, who's that dude? It's my real husband.
So for that, guys, again, please put in the comments below, who do you think, or top that, everybody, top that. Who is the worst movie villain of all time? Because we bet you it's Rose.
Rose, yeah, it's really, that has changed my perspective.
Yes. Like I said, you and I were on it. You and I were just talking about, like, dude, she had enough on that boat, like on that door. She could have saved them.
Yeah, she could. Like, what's great is there's been interviews now. What's his name? Jack? Could Jack have fit on that door? They're like, oh yeah, he totally could have fit on that door.
I think they did a Mythbusters on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mythbusters, great.
Anyway, Greg, sign us out. I've had fun. Thank you for listening, everybody. Sign us out, sir.
Oh, there's so much going on right now, whether it's political news or social news or whatever. Check your sources, know where it's coming from, especially when you're sitting down with that crazy uncle who thinks he knows everything. Check your sources, know who you're talking to. You don't want to bury the uncle under millions of years of just pent up rage that you could just embarrass the shit out of them. Don't do that. Know who you're talking to, and don't be a douche. Even if they're being a douche, don't be a douche.
Yes. And the last thing that I'm going to add, I rarely do this, but happy Thanksgiving to all. Take one moment to just realize how lucky you are. I know there's some people out there that don't feel lucky right now, but I guarantee you there's somebody worse living a worse life than you are. So be thankful for the life you have. And that'll be it. So once again, thank you for listening to The Greg. This is Johnny saying, podcast out, everybody. Take care and go to hell, Rose.